Good evening. I got a question about reincarnation. The reincarnation trap. How to get out of it. Very good question. It is a trap. If you ask me, it is. But you can get out of it. When you can choose if you want to be reincarnated or not, then you're out of it, of course. And it's a very good condition if you can choose. Now, I can only tell you about myself, what happened. And I can see that there's two things that was very important for me. The first one was knowledge. And I was very interested. I wanted to find out about things. See, reincarnation, what am I? What is the spirit? What is this thing? I was so interested when I was younger. I still am. So I was looking a lot, I was reading a lot, and I found some good guys, really good. Old men, usually, dead men. Lao Tzu is my favorite, absolutely. So, and then it became knowledge, and it becomes knowledge when you start to use it. That's what I think. When you read about it, and you say, okay, so this guy, Lao Tzu, he said this, all right, I know this. This is not really knowledge. If you ask me, you have to start using it, using the information. And then you will see if it works, and how it works, and why it works, see? And then it becomes real knowledge. It's like anything. You want to fix a tractor, you can read about it. But it's when you start doing it, that's when you see how it works, right? So that was very important to me, of course. And then it is this one, it's responsibility. I was not very responsible when I was a young man. Maybe compared to others I was okay, but when I look back, looking at this time, when I was like 15 to 20 years old, I was not responsible. And I was in a bad shape, actually. Much worse than I wanted to be. And then I started to take responsibility for some things that I did, and things I was embarrassed about. And I started to gain from this. I felt better. The big breakthrough for me was my first marriage. It was a very, very bad marriage. And after the divorce, I was bitter and angry. And I blamed my ex-wife for a lot of things. I was sort of quiet about it, see, but I wasn't feeling good. Then I started to look at my part in this. And this sort of opened the door for me. And then it became like a game, sort of. I saw that I was partly responsible, at least. See? So, and then I started to take more and more responsibility for what I did. And I started to ignore what she did, Because when I took responsibility for what I did, that's when I gained. See? I didn't gain anything from blaming her. Of course not. So it was my part in it that was important. And I noticed, I got this sort of surge from this. And it was a big breakthrough for me, being responsible for what happened. And after this, I think I've been sort of sailing along with this. And now I feel that I can be responsible for anything. People, when they are told that they are responsible, some people, like politicians, right? This is like a total disaster, isn't it? you are responsible for what happened here. No, no, no. And they will blame everything, coincidences, whatever. And they will not take responsibility for it. But it's the way down, actually. Truly, it is. You have to turn that around and start to be responsible for what's going on in your life. And I think the system is rigged so that we shouldn't be responsible. You know? We have all kinds of excuses. And the big religions, again, see, you are not responsible for what's going on. Well, you're a sinner, right? You are a sinner, right? But if something good happens, it's not you didn't cause this, did you? Oh, it's this big guy in the sky. And you should thank him for whatever good. And if something bad happens, well, he's punishing you now, isn't he? And socialism, of course. You know, just look at socialism. It's all about not being responsible. You're part of a collective. And the society is doing this to you, you know. If you are failing, it's society's fault, you know. It's ridiculous. This is the way down, absolutely. You have to turn this around and start to become responsible. And you will, I think people will notice this when they start doing it, that this is a fantastic thing. It's not a big disaster. It's absolutely the opposite. It's actually fun to be responsible. Just imagine, well, something bad happens over there and it's your fault. Right? It's pretty neat, isn't it? If something good happens, well, you can take responsibility for this too. So those are the key points for me. Knowledge and responsibility. And you know, there was another question about goals. I don't remember it now, but what is a good goal for a good spirit? I can't remember it correctly, but it sort of connects to this, because as you move up, the goal will be apparent to you. Well, that's what happened to me. As you start to see things clearer, you have a goal already. See? I have this idea that you form this goal very, very early. And you will actually see the goal in what you are interested in. You know, you see things that really triggers your interest. Somewhere there is your goal, I think. And the more you follow through on this, the more obvious it will get, sort of, what your goal is. All right, it's different. You know, different spirits have different goals, of course, and skills. It's the skills, you know. The skills will tell you something too. If you are good at something, it will tell you something. This is close to my goal. I'm good at this stuff, see? Right. I'm rambling on now. Right. Nice talking to you. Be good.